You know what I'm talking about? It's your partner, man. Who? It's your partner, man. Who? It's your partner, man. Who? You know what I'm talking about? What's good with the people, man? How's y'all doing on this familiar fake Friday? You say familiar fake Friday. What you talking about, bro? We gonna get into it, but before we do that, what's good, people? Like hee hee ha ha. Ken in the pen, all my folks incarcerated, all my folks who ain't, everybody on the bottom of that thing, everybody on top of that thing. Keep the head up. You know what I'm talking about? Keep pushing. We gonna get to it. To get to it, man. You know what I'm talking about? Let's get through them. Swing that finger, young man. Worldwide INC, Worldwide Incorporated, Worldwide. And they gonna say, what's that, bro? I'm say, you know what I'm talking about? It means everybody included. And Dugu, Mike, Cutthroat, Lil Rude, not Lil Rude, Lil Rude. You know what I'm talking about? Tata the player, that's who comes next, man. You know what I'm talking about? Get well soon, ma, rooting for you. You know what I'm talking about? Same thing. Everybody on the bottom of that thing, everybody on top of that thing. Keep their head up, man. You know what I'm talking about? Keep pushing. We gonna get through it to get to it, man. You know what I'm talking about? Let's get through these disclaimers now. Good brother like myself, I don't promote no drug users, drug sellers, alcohol consumption. You know what I'm talking about? Don't take a sip of the sippage. Good brother like myself, man. I don't promote no crime. I don't promote no violence. I don't promote no domestic violence. Keep your hands off the people. People, you know what I'm talking about? I don't promote no negativity. No, me, man, I don't promote shh. They say, well, bro, I don't promote shh. You know what I'm talking about? Me, all I promote is y'all go ahead, do what you gonna do with your time, young ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you find the right thing, do with your time, young ladies and gentlemen, because we don't know how much of it we got, man. But a good brother like myself, man, I ain't prejudiced, no, man. Good brother like myself, I ain't got nothing against the sexually different, no, man. Good brother like myself, man, I ain't got nothing against the little people, no, man. Me, man, I ain't got nothing against nobody. You know what I'm talking about? They was talking to me. I just love me some everybody. You know what I'm talking about? As a matter of fact, I'm on a quest. You know what I'm talking about? Bring that peace. You know what I'm talking about? That joy. You know what I'm talking about? That love. What you say, brother? That love. You know what I'm talking about? Back to YouTube community, man. Is you with me? Alright, check it out. Come fuck with a nigga one time, man. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all hold on. Let me go put some more on some of this classic bros. You know what I'm talking about, man? Mama say brush them whiskers. When you on TV, man, you know what I'm talking about? I had to go get some of that piping hot, you know what I'm talking about? Classic bros piping hot, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Classic roast, you know what I'm talking about? Say, man, I done forgot my damn joke. Shout out to everybody who know better than everybody else doing it. I see you, man. You said, bro, what's this one right here about, man? Familiar fake. You know what I'm talking about? They say, what? Familiar fake? Mm-hmm. That's how y'all, that's how we get away with the shit we get away with now. Because it's a familiar fake. You know what I'm talking about? That's why you end up sitting here defending bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? Because it's a familiar fake. That's how we get away now. That's how the motherfucking gang bangers and gang members or so-called motherfucking representatives of a gang can, nigga, we could act like we in the gang, then we could double as the media. You know what I'm talking about? Familiar fake. You know what I'm talking about? From about 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock, we a gang member. Then from 5 to 5 in the morning, we a podcaster. You know what I'm talking about? So we out there, we done did a drive-by, then we gonna report on it. You know what I'm talking about? Like that movie where the nigga was, you know what I'm talking about, when he wanted to be a movie. So he was causing hella shit so he could be the first person on the scene. That's what we doing, a familiar fake. That's why you niggas agree. And that's why you can't really call a lot of shit out, because you do the same shit. It ain't even really about calling nothing out, even though that's what we do today, familiar fake. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't even about calling nothing out. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's all we do. We sit around and call out what the next person do. That's just like a gang member sitting on here and he's trying to, he done came up with a whole bunch of video of how somebody else the police. You know what I'm talking about? And if you just check it out, bro, the same video you did, you done came up with, bro, you ain't did nothing but use police tactics yourself. So the same nigga you trying to say is the police, bro, you using the similar tactics that this nigga using on him. You know what I'm talking about? Familiar fake Friday. And that's why everybody get along, bro, because it's like an unwritten code. Now we all gonna do this fake ass shit, you know what I'm talking about? And we just gonna do this fake ass shit and we gonna act like it's cool. Familiar fake. You know what I'm talking about? It's a familiar fake. So we everybody gonna sit around here and we gonna do this fake ass shit, but somehow we gonna act like it's cool. Like I said, We come up here and claim ourselves like we street niggas and shit, but we don't do nothing but sit up here and gossip like that bitch in the window on In Living Color. You ain't heard it from me. I heard a nigga describe himself as that. I heard a nigga on here, man, his idol was Tasha K. You know what I'm talking about? Familiar Fake. Friday it is. You know what I'm talking about? So we just got the whole world sweeping the fake shit up under the rug, acting like it's cool. You know what I'm talking about? Because YouTube passing out money. You ain't noticed that? These niggas don't give a fuck about nothing, bruh. If these niggas gave a fuck about something, they would bring awareness to it when it wasn't the story. Same way y'all did when dude, you see how dude, it was the story when he got, when he got killed with his little girl. You ain't even heard nobody say R.I.P. since then, bruh. Niggas only cover shit when it's the story. Just like when the people got killed out here, bro. You seen everybody act like that was so tragic and all that. You ain't heard nobody talk about that shit since. You know what I'm talking about? Because niggas don't talk about shit that ain't the story. Familiar, fake. You know what I'm talking about? But we gonna act like we really heard. We gonna come up here, tell you somebody else motherfucking business. Then we gonna act like, oh man, my condolences to the family and all that old fake ass shit, familiar fake. If it was condolences to the family, you wouldn't even be talking about them people business. You would give them people a grace period. Like I told you years ago, you don't give a fuck about that shit. You give a fuck about your views. That's why you talking about that shit. Because if you gave any a fuck about that family, bro, you wouldn't even be talking about their business on the airways without talking about them, talking to them people first. You just wouldn't come up here with shit that you didn't know, trying to make it seem like you the first one with the story. Familiar fake. Friday it is. That's why y'all are sit here try to paint a narrative that Big Meech and Jay Prince and all them is a snitch and turn around and interview Charleston White. Like I said, you don't give a fuck about snitching. You know what I'm talking about? You don't give a fuck about snitching. You don't give a fuck about none of that shit you be trying to put on other people. You don't care about that shit because your favorite people do that shit. It's just like y'all favorite person. Now, y'all favorite person could have sit up here and say he'll rape women, kids, or don't promote none of that shit. They'd sit up there and say all that shit out the mouth, and then you would give them an excuse like they just trolling. Talking about, oh, they didn't mean that. Even though this is what a motherfucker said out their mouth. You would tell them, oh, they was just trolling. And we can't find no other way to troll. But this is what we'll do. Familiar fake. That's why the people you like can never be wrong. That's why the fuck shit you do, you'll never be wrong, because you always have a reason. Familiar fake. And you gonna get the other million niggas that's doing the same shit, and they gonna agree with you because all you niggas is the same familiar fake. You know what I'm talking about? That's why when a nigga asks you, why is you a gang member up here gossiping, you gonna say it's public record like the police. Familiar fake. That's why you got a million nerds running around here right now reading people paperwork. Familiar fake. That's why these niggas try so hard to come up here on camera and say they not street niggas, but sit up here in front of you with ski masks and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Familiar fake. That's why all these squares running around here and got all these legal firearms, making videos and shit with all these choppers and all these old bought guns and shit. You know what I'm talking about? All these guns, they went and bought out the gun store and shit, trying to look tough. Familiar fake. That's why all these niggas going to the gun range and shit, trying to look like they, you know what I'm talking about, really a part of that part of the life. You know what I'm talking about? Familiar fake. I've been telling y'all this shit, bro. It ain't even game no more. Game is the look. Now game is a look. It's the Cartier glasses. It's the expensive belt buckle. You know what I'm talking about? It's the designer. You know what I'm talking about? It's them dumbass shoes. You know what I'm talking about? That's game now. Niggas something straight out of the comic book, bro. Familiar fake. That's why all you niggas look the same fake. That's why everybody, when you put all that shit in the pot and you get to serving that shit on a plate, all that shit is the same fake. It ain't fake because I said it was. No. Because I know what one of you bitch ass niggas up under your breath, no, it ain't fake because I said it was. That was the rules when I stepped in the game. It was fake then. It was fake before I got here. You know what I'm talking about? No, it ain't fake because I said it was. You got to ask yourself, if you just keeping it real, what is gang members doing on the motherfucker in front of a camera talking about street business? Why are y'all reading people paperwork? You know what I'm talking about? Why are y'all talking about people business that you have nothing to do with? Because we gonna sit up here on these YouTube, which I call them the YouTube streets and all that old square ass shit, nigga. We gonna sit up here and act like we activists. You know what I'm talking about? But notice how we only bring awareness to trendy topics. We don't be bringing there's no real awareness to shit. We only bring awareness to trendy topics. We only have something to say about a topic that is trending. Because that's what they have taught all you niggas. Familiar fake. You know what I'm talking about? You niggas ain't even finna talk about nothing if it ain't trending. Familiar fake. And ask yourself once again, if you all this nigga that you claim to be. See, because that's the problem right now. That's why more and more people trying to talk you in to how real they is instead of showing you. Because if you just looked at somebody's actions and you seen niggas up here talking about these people RICO case, you talking about this nigga, you talking about this nigga, they'll look at you and be like, they'll use their common sense and be like, bro, that ain't real. That's why we got to talk people into how real we is. Because when we doing that fake shit, we got to come back like, look, man, this is the way of the world now. It's public record. We got to do all this explaining this shit because we know the shit that we doing is fake, familiar fake. And everybody know that shit fake. But they see everybody doing it. So we all can make an excuse for this shit because we know we are not supposed to be doing it. You know what I'm talking about? Because some of these niggas is old as me. And you know motherfucking well that code that we was giving right now, you ain't supposed to do none of this shit. Nah, you ain't supposed to do none of this shit. And that's what's so fucked up and funny to me, folks. Like, you would think, like, especially if you one of them niggas that went out here and kind of fucked your life up, man, you could use this shit to try to give back or something. Try to, I don't know, give hope to somebody or something. No, we ain't gonna do that. We gonna still try to fit in with the niggas of the day. We gonna come up here like Wendy Williams, gossiping and shit, talking about, ooh, you ain't gonna believe what I heard. All this shit speculation. Now you got so-called real niggas running around here waiting on the word and hit the tier or something. Now you waiting on these niggas waiting around for DJ Academics, a nerd. Now you got real niggas waiting around for a nerd speculation. Familiar fake. You know what I'm talking about? Now you got supposedly real niggas sitting around this motherfucker waiting to see what Whack 100 or DJ Academics. You all on these people Instagram. Nigga, you done turned yourself into a shock jock, bro. Familiar fake. Now they done got gangsters, are supposed to be gangsters. Now you making money with giving your opinion on another nigga. You know, motherfucking well, when we was growing up, that was called salt. That was called putting salt on the nigga's game. You know what I'm talking about? That was called player hating later on. You know what I'm talking about? Before it was player hating, it was called salt on the nigga's game. You know what I'm talking about? Familiar fake. Friday it is. And we sit here, and I know y'all hear me and be saying, fuck this nigga, who he think he is. Then you try to make something that I done said, the same shit. You try to make me contradict myself with your mouth and all that shit. You try to put what I'm saying in perspective. Coffee Chronicles, go right ahead, bro. Go right ahead, familiar fake. Because that's what we do now. You know what I'm talking about? To not have to face what we is, we find out what you is. You know what I'm talking about? That's why now when you come up with one of our embarrassing moments and shit, that we in a rush to go look up for one of yours now. You know what I'm talking about? So now you talking about me, but did y'all know this? You know what I'm talking about? Fighting just like the hoe. Familiar fake. You know what I'm talking about? Familiar fake, folks. And then you niggas got y'all do the same shit with this imaginary black hole. Y'all do the same shit with the Bible. Everybody be talking about this Bible and shit until it's time for them to do the shit that say God said don't do in the Bible. You know what I'm talking about? You want to talk about the Bible, the church people, but then you want to sit around here and you want to judge the next person. I told you I was surprised to see how many church people had that Diddy trial. Because I could have swore God said don't be judging people in that book. You feel me? Y'all don't listen to none of that shit, bro. You listen to that Bible as it goes by the shit you want to do. Because you use the Bible verses to put the rationalizations on the shit you do in real life. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? You go look through that Bible, especially people that know that Bible back and forth. And then you manipulate it into your words, into your actions. So everything you do, you gonna have the right to do it no matter what it is on earth, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? You can be over here robbing old people and shit. Then you gonna go to a part in that Bible where God says something similar and you gonna try to put what you doing on the God's words. You know what I'm talking about? To make God, what God said, a little bit closer to what you doing. Familiar Fake Friday. And once again, that's why everybody could tell you what God said do, and you ain't seen that many people do what God said did. You know what I'm talking about? You don't see that much. You just hear everybody talking about what God said do. You don't really see that many people doing what God said. You know what I'm talking about? And that'd be the killer part to me. We ain't even got to talk about what God said do. All we got to do is what God said do. All we got to do is do. You know what I'm talking about? But we ain't gonna do that. Matter of fact, we gonna sit up here and do all this fake ass shit. Then we gonna try to explain to you how it's real. You know what I'm talking about? That's what we gonna do. Y'all some goofy, familiar fake. That's why all you niggas like the Kevin Samuels. They say, bro, don't you get to talking about Kevin Samuels. R.I.P. Kevin Samuels. I really don't have nothing against Kevin Samuels. I don't. I'm not talking about Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels did what he was supposed to do, charge you marks. You know what I'm talking about? Just like the bitch does. Charges you marks. Coffee Chronicles. I'm just saying how we don't use our common sense. Because my common sense told me, see, this is the shit, and it's not even to discredit this man, even though that's what y'all gonna say I'm doing, because that's your daddy. You know what I'm talking about? If that was Kevin Samuels' visual from the jump, you would think Kevin Samuels would have hit the YouTube with that strong-ass message he had. But he didn't. He didn't even have that message at first. You know what I'm talking about? Just like I said, he was reviewing perfume and shit and bitches' shoes and all that shit. You know what I'm talking about? He was on all that shit. He wasn't talking about nothing about no men or none of that shit. Then all it takes is for a motherfucker to read the analytics and see where, like Pac said, peep the weakness in the rap game and sold it. You know what I'm talking about? All Kevin Samuels really did, bro, was take Tommy Sotomayor whole game and put some finesse on it. And we keeping it real. You know what I'm talking about? That's all he did. Just took Tommy Sotomayor game and put some finesse on it. But my whole thing is, he didn't feel that way, bro. That man did an analytic check, seen where it was a hole in the game at, then he filled the void, bro. You know what I'm talking about? But if he really felt this way, this is the whole, he would have came to the internet with that high value man shit. He didn't, bro. You know what I'm talking about? He came to the internet with something else. Thought, you know what I'm talking about? He was reviewing perfume and shit. He wasn't talking about, y'all crazy, folks. Y'all will take a motherfucker that was playing the game with you and y'all will make that shit serious, bro. Y'all will try to make that shit reality. Familiar fake. If Kevin Samuels felt that strongly about men and women in the cap, why wasn't that his message from the jump, bro? You know what I'm talking about? Because he was reviewing perfume, and I'm not like downing him for reviewing the perfume. I'm telling you the same thing he did is the same thing everybody does. Familiar fake, bro. They sit back, they watch, they playing a number game with you, bro. They watching all the popular talking points and shit, and then you can come up with your own game. Because all these motherfuckers doing is telling you what you want to hear. That's why y'all even like people. Coffee Chronicles. You know what I'm talking about? And that's all he did, bruh. That nigga came up with a master plan. But y'all turned the nigga who was playing the game with y'all turned that shit into serious and made it seem like it was some real game, bruh. And the only real game is the game he was playing with you. I told y'all these people don't even be believing that shit they be saying, folks. They don't. That nigga came back and he found this niche, didn't he? Because his first niche he was trying, man, y'all some straight out of comic book, folks. Familiar fake. Familiar fake, folks. Just like all these other motherfuckers do. You know what I'm talking about? I told y'all, you get on this motherfucker and you looking at them analytics and shit, familiar fake. So whatever video you get the most views from, you're going to try to reenact that video 1,000,000 times. That's why I said you can get a lot of views for eating some shit. You're going to keep on coming to the camera eating shit. Because you're chasing views. You're chasing notoriety by squares. Familiar fake. You know what I'm talking about? Do you realize out of all this shit on these social, all these motherfucking chaos and bullshit that done started. And the majority, a gang of motherfuckers ain't even getting $100 payout, folks. All this chaos and just bullshit, bruh, and nigga, you struggling trying to get it, bruh, that shit don't add up. That shit don't even make no sense. Familiar fake. You know what I'm talking about? I told y'all use this computer to mask the way you is, because there ain't nothing wrong with this computer. Y'all bought yourself to the computer. Only thing wrong with this computer is y'all, the way y'all think. The same thing that's wrong with the world. The world is perfect, bruh. It's the people in the world. Just like the computer is just a computer. Ain't nothing wrong with the computer. It's the people on the computer. Coffee Chronicles. That same shit, how y'all got ran up off the world, how don't nobody fuck with you when you a nerd, don't nobody really pay attention to you. Y'all bought that same lonely shit to the computer. Coffee Chronicles. That's why the computer like that filled with mess, because you bought your messy ass to this motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? And y'all sit on this motherfucker and do the same shit. The reason your family and them don't fuck with you no more. You know what I'm talking about? And everybody business, talking about people jealous, envious, spiteful. You know what I'm talking about? Ready to destroy somebody's property. You know what I'm talking about? I told you, bro, for a nigga to even report your channel, that like a nigga reporting your channel don't even do nothing for him. He just trying to stop you. That's hater shit, bro. That's hater shit. That trolling shit. Turning yourself to somebody, nigga, if I say anything, bro, I'm gonna say it as this your partner. You know what I'm talking about? You might think I'm trolling, but that's just what I said. I can always put a face to what I say. Because I don't really give a fuck about what you think. You know what I'm talking about? And I've been around here long enough to know you ain't gonna do a motherfucking thing but call the police. See, that shit sound good on the radio. You know what I'm talking about? That shit sound good on footage and shit. You know how we be running around with cameras and shit, trying to get everything, I'm talking about when ain't none of that shit rolling. And you just gotta protect yourself. That shit sound good. And a lot of y'all, before Charleston White even came here, a lot of y'all protect yourself with the police. You know what I'm talking about? Tell that shit to somebody else. You know what I'm talking about? I've been around here too long. Tell that shit to somebody else. You know what I'm talking about? Something that happened, you'll be so frantic, you don't even realize you're talking to the police. You know what I'm talking about? You'll be so frantic, you don't even realize you're talking to the police. You just trying to tell somebody what you saw. Nigga said straight out of comic book, bruh. Straight out of comic book, folks. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you could talk that shit. I know better. So you can tell that shit to somebody else. I done had to go to war with nobody help, and I'm still standing. Some days I feel stranded, but somehow I still manage. You know what I'm talking about? Familiar fake. And we gonna sit here and we gonna come up with all these rationalizations and all this excuses and shit to continue to doing the fake shit. Because if we was just real, everybody would stop helping the police, because the police then already came on the news 3, 4, 5 times, told you they don't do nothing but watch social media. You know what I'm talking about? But for some reason, we keep asking questions and shit, police questions and shit. We keep, we supposed to be on code, but we helping the FBI build RICO cases on motherfuckers and shit. Then we gonna say shit like they shouldn't have answered the question. Why was that even in your line of questioning? Trying to get views because they don't give a fuck about the people, bruh. They gonna say you shouldn't have been stupid. They gonna say you shouldn't have had your business up there. Just like if you catch a nigga gossiping, familiar fake, and you ask this nigga, bruh, why is you talking about them people business? The nigga gonna tell you because it's public record. He's not the only one talking about it. Follow me. Then somebody see this nigga talking about it. He gonna tell them, like, this is a valid excuse. Why you mad at me? Everybody talking about it. Why you saying, I told you the guilt trip, talkative techniques, bro. Maybe he didn't see everybody else. Maybe he only seen your video. You know what I'm talking about? So he got mad at you first. You know what I'm talking about running your mouth about his business. Like I said, we done turned into kids, bro. Familiar fake. We gonna say all that shit right there. Then if you get mad at us, we gonna, why you mad at me? I ain't the only one talking about it. But then when you say something about us, we gonna come up here hella mad and call you hella weird, nigga, and go mind your own business. But don't nobody mind their own business. The only time somebody gotta mind their own business is when they talking about us. That's when everybody becomes weird. For me or fake. Because if we was just real, everybody will mind their business, bro. Everybody will be trying to pay it forward, help the next motherfucker. But we don't. You know what I'm talking about? And I told you, watching other people don't do nothing, bro. It's just gonna put more bitter and envy in you. Because you ain't nothing but a jealous, envious, bitter motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about this computer shit real quick. It's just like how you'll go watch a motherfucker on Facebook all day. Just follow a nigga you say you don't like. Same way on this computer, bro. Do you know? Listen, bro. And I say on my mama, I ain't never sat here and wondered if another motherfucker was monetized. I ain't never tried to sit here and look at nobody else's analytics. I don't even be on my computer on my shit, bro. You know what I'm talking about? I'm really Mel Gibson on this motherfucker road warrior just walking down the street with the dog, nigga. No editing videos, nothing. And it ain't even about what I'm doing. But what I'm saying is the only thing I've ever been paid attention to on this motherfucker is me. Do you get what I'm saying, folks? I ain't never tried to wonder if this nigga was monetized or got mad because this nigga popping right. I ain't never did that shit, bro. I salute everybody. If you own this motherfucker, I hope you crack the code, nigga. That's how you know motherfuckers is haters, bro. Anybody who keeps up with your progress, bro, in my mind, you the one on here doing all that shit. Because there's even no reason for you to be curious about what somebody else at or what they doing. Or if they monetized or if they not monetized. That shit shouldn't even, that shit can't do nothing for you. Familiar fake. So just me using my common sense, if a motherfucker is trying to keep up with another motherfucker's progress, it's only a matter of time before they're going to start trying to sabotage that person's progress. You get what I'm saying? Because there is no other reason to keep up with a motherfucker. That's why y'all hate so many people. You know what I'm talking about? Because you don't know how to pay attention to yourself. And when you don't know how to pay attention to yourself, bruh, you pay attention to everybody else. So your whole life becomes everybody else. You know what I'm talking about? Then that's why you come out here in the invisible competitions. Then that's why we come out here and start acting like the shit we do can't nobody else do. That's when we start doing that shit. We start competing. We start putting you down there and trying to tell you what we is. You know what I'm talking about? We start trying to tell you who did something first and who did, you know what I'm talking about? And ain't nobody did nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Familiar fake. Friday it is. We try to be bigger than you with our mouth. We try to be better than you with our mouth. That's why we always putting you down and big up in ourselves. You know what I'm talking about? But if we were just keeping it real and you looked at our actions and who we was, we don't do nothing but worry about everybody else. We don't do nothing but talk about everybody else. We don't do nothing but know exactly what everybody else doing. See, because we'll come up here and try to explain to you how this is a nothing fake ass motherfucker, but the whole time we done spent damn near 4 weeks on this nothing punk ass motherfucker. So how can why is you even paying attention to this nothing punk ass motherfucker if they really nothing? The motherfucker that you trying to say nothing, you the one making them important. You know what I'm talking about? If they was nothing, you wouldn't even be sweating that shit. I can't even hear you from up here, man, huh? You know what I'm talking about? That's why we talk so much. We try to talk you out of what you actually see us doing. Familiar fake. We try to say this motherfucker fake and this is a nothing ass motherfucker, but the whole time we steadily promoting this motherfucker. We trying to tell you this person is something But if we just really watch what's going on, we letting you know that we don't do nothing in our personal life but watch this motherfucker, because we always know what this motherfucker doing. Now, if this was a nothing punk bitch ass motherfucker, why would they even joust your interest like that? You know what I'm talking about? Because if you don't fuck with somebody, or you don't, like I say, I fuck with everybody, bro. And the people I don't fuck with, I don't know what the fuck you doing. I'm not trying to take a sneak peek, you know what I'm talking about? And that's how you end up like that, bro. That's how you end up looking like a J-Cat. That's how you end up taking people who wasn't talking to you or talking about you and try to make that shit about yourself. Because as people, this is what we love to do. We love to come around here, watch everybody, then try to come tell you who hating on us. And we do that to try to make ourselves important, because really nobody's paying attention to us. That's why we got to remind you who it is. That's why we got to come up here and create a narrative, familiar fake. And then we could tell you who mad and who all that when these people ain't even thinking about us. You know what I'm talking about? But we could try to create that perception. To make ourselves seem important. But all we really doing is watching this motherfucker. So these people that we trying to tell you ain't nothing, this ain't important, they really important to us. Because we keep watching them. You know what I'm talking about? Something straight out of the comic book, bro. Familiar fake. Familiar fake, bro. All these people gonna do is somehow put you in another hypothetical conversation. That's all they gonna do, folks. You know what I'm talking about? That's all they gonna do. Familiar fake. We gonna sit here, we gonna make another excuse to do some fake shit. I'm gonna tell you, it's public record. I'm gonna smack my lips because this is how I'm getting paid, so I don't care. Shout out to you. Do your thing, bro. But we gonna sit here and act like just because this is what's going on now, somehow that makes it real. I ain't gonna play that game with y'all. The police, the FBI that came on TV 3 or 4 times, I just told y'all that, and said that they watching this shit. And somehow we still up here just talking. I'm gonna use my common sense. I think more of y'all trying to help them people than which led on. You know what I'm talking about? Why is we even talking about street business to nerds? Why did we make the world the round table? Familiar fake. So now y'all got nerds commenting on the underworld. Something straight out of the comic book, bruh. I was working out this morning. Watching myself. I told y'all I'd give y'all a shot in the morning when I'm working out doing my shit. And these niggas came on with a conversation and said how they say how the old brothers be hating on the youngsters. Now, I just want to tell y'all from personal experience in my life, I've never hated on a youngster, and I've never come across a youngster that hated on an old person in my personal life. I haven't. Anywhere I've been, it's just always been kosher. It wasn't even like a niggas was talking about the age difference in the room. It was just normal people. And this is what I'm telling you, familiar fake, with these nerds that do on this social media shit. They'll just come up here and try to start a conversation like this is a real divide in the world. And notice people that do that be the people that don't even be out in the real world rubbing shoulders and socializing. So they came up with all these people, and then they start talking about Shannon Sharpe and Shaquille O'Neal and talking about how they so tired of seeing these old men that don't go by the Bible. And first of all, if you had a pretty good life, you had something going on in your own life, something that didn't directly affect you, shouldn't even be tired of. I don't see how you got so much time to sit around and watch another motherfucker till you get tired of them. Coffee Chronicles. Just the answer is, bro, you don't have to be tired of nobody. You can just live your life. Now I told you I'm tired of y'all behaviors because you have fucked up the network. That's what I'm tired of. The behaviors. that y'all have now. Because you can't even come around and be your player ass self because you got to deal with all these niggas acting like hoes, familiar fake. That's why I'm tired of you niggas, because the way you niggas act is like hoes now. So everywhere you go, even if it's niggas in the room, it's like it's being around a million bitter ass baby mamas. Because you niggas act like Sagunis. That's what I'm tired of. You know what I'm talking about? But all we got to do is just live our life. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't got to look at nobody else. Y'all keep trying to come up with these talking points and black fatigue, some shit that don't even exist in the real world. You know what I'm talking about? Fake fatigue exists. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's what y'all do. Y'all hella fake and y'all keep on trying to come up with some new talking points to get nerds interested so you can get some views on this social media shit. Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, bro. In my real life, I seen some older bitches hate on some younger bitches in my lifetime. In real life. And this is just my point, bro. Y'all be arguing about shit that you ain't never seen in your real life. You've never had this problem, bro. Y'all sit around here and y'all let fake, familiar, fake. Y'all sit around here and y'all let these people put a bunch of thoughts in y'all heads and you just go around repeat shit. Y'all ain't never even experienced half the shit y'all be sitting up here trying to argue on this computer, nigga. Y'all don't. You be talking about these hoes, bro, in your real life. You ain't never came across no hoe that even do the shit you complaining about, nigga. You niggas be complaining about the hoes you can't even fuck. Why every time you niggas put a hoe up, it's one of them stripper hoes or one of them bitches out of Alvin Groom, one of these old ghetto-fied ass, you know what I'm talking about? Urban League legends ass bitches, bro. You niggas never put a bitch up there that even look like she got sense, bro. It's a million hoes around this mother. You niggas is crazy as a motherfucker, bro. Familiar fake, but once again, they playing number games with you. They don't believe that shit, bro. It's just a hot talking point. Why you think these motherfuckers just never come up with really nothing we need, bro? Everything you hear motherfuckers talk about is a trending topic, folks. Everything. It ain't no real concern, bro. Only thing niggas is concerned about is them views. I ain't bullshitting with you. Familiar fake. But that's why everybody can sit around this motherfucker and do the same shit and act like it's cool, bro. Because everybody doing the same shit. You know what I'm talking about? So we all gonna do a bunch of fake ass shit and we just gonna act like it's cool. You know what I'm talking about? Familiar fake. You know what I'm talking about? We all around here talking about open murders and who killed this person and they had something to do and we acting like that's real shit. We around here trying to solve murders of gangsters and shit. Niggas that got 4 and 5, 6, 7 things up under they shit. And we trying to get somebody else arrested. This is the games we play, familiar fake, folks. But as long as it calls views, as long as it generates views, that's what's real now. But what do I know? Only you can prevent forest fires, man, with that one right there. If you don't remember nothing else, always remember. You don't cost nothing. Just to show a little bit of love. And before I get up out of here, man, because I've been selling dope, I done did hella shit. I don't promote no crime, right? And all this shit that I done did, bro, you know what I'm talking about? It's like, bro, a lot of you niggas grew up like y'all couldn't do nothing else, but now in the world where you could get famous for gossip, it's like that's you niggas' secret weapon. I could sit around here and act like a bitch. That's the only thing you niggas flourished at. You niggas couldn't bounce, you couldn't do nothing with a zip, you couldn't do nothing with no plug, you couldn't do nothing with no pieces, you couldn't do nothing with no legs, you could never, but you thrive when you can sit around here and act like a hoe.